Hello, W.J. Burns PHX. This here is a second Zenith model 7S633 that I have refurbished in the last 30 days. It is made in 1941. It has 7 tubes, 3 bands. Like the other one, it has had all its caps replaced, electrolytics replaced, some resistors, and 3 tubes. The cabinet has been refinished inside and outside. It's been taken back to bare wood, restained, and several coats of clear poly have been applied. The bezel has been sanded and polished, painted and polished, and coated, as well as the buttons for the tone controls and the presets. The knobs are original, dials original. It has a new grill cloth. Unlike the other one, this one here has had no accent on the trim. It has a new back cover. The graphics have been reapplied. It has a new power cord that's polarized. It has a fuse and a dropping resistor in it. Drops the 120 to 122 volts down to 115 volts. We'll fire it up. Let's give a listen to it. It is about 10:30 in the morning. So I don't know just how well the reception is going to be on shortwave. Hopefully you can. I polished the glass up and it's reflecting really good, especially since the sun is high in the sky. Try to get it in an area where you can see it pretty well. Well, hopefully this will do. We'll start on the automatic for the push buttons.
$2 a month at Home Furnishing Direct, making your house a home.
I'll include a video, a short video clip showing how to adjust these buttons for your area.
Every day.
99.9 and 95.5 FM. Log on to KAZMradio.com.
Welcome back to Carroll King Frontier Village, Prescott.
A 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms today, mostly clear.
We'll go over to the AM broadcast band.
944 Flagstaff down to 60 in Sedona. Should cool to 61 in Payson. 57 degrees expected in Winslow and in the Quad City area.
That's our
and
local
63 degrees
here
for the Verde Valley. That's your weather from Yavapai.
with discussions between the U.S. and
Hopefully
Canada
this phone
around
just
NAFTA
won't
continuing. Tensions on trade are still present between China and the
interfere
U.S.
too much with
where
the
we expect
reception.
more talks later in the year. And as our listeners are aware, today is the third day of Supreme.
At night we get a lot more reception in here. They're mostly all distance stations though. There's about probably about a handful of stations we get in here during the day. Like I said, we only have the one station local. All the rest are 15 to 80 miles away or better.
Oh, that's right. You know, that's wrong. I
That one
can't.
there
Guy
is out of
orders a
Prescott
kosher
Valley,
meal
about
on a
40
raft of
miles away.
Muslims escaping into Europe, and does but on the other.
We got a lot of electrical interference in this area. That one there is a Flagstaff station, about 70, 80 miles away. And once in a while we got a ham in the neighborhood that likes to fire it up.
With a smile on your face and show the world.
That one there is a station out of Sedona, which is about 16 miles away.
You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful. As you entiende. Lo lamento, trataba de mostrarle
Don't know where that one's at. It might be Prescott.
enviando a understood.
Four teams in the playoffs. Everything matters.
I don't know where that one's
Football
at.
playoff returns to
Okay, that's about it for the broadcast band. We'll kick it over to the police band, what they call the police band. I call it Shortwave 1. But we'll only pick up, I don't know, whatever we can pick up between 1.6 and 1.8. The rest might be amateur on there. At night it picks up a lot more, especially up high in the 4 megahertz to 5.5 megahertz. But before we do that, I'm going to connect up my long wire antenna and just clip it onto the lead there. What you would do normally would be this is the A terminal, and that there is the ground terminal or common. The link is in there for your broadcast and everything, and when you want to do your long distance or your shortwave, disconnect the link and hook your long wire antenna or your external to the A terminal. And if you're getting a little bit of static buildup or hiss or whatever, connect your ground lead or your earth ground to the other terminal, and it will diminish that background noise quite a bit. So my antenna is just a long wire, goes over there, over to that side of the canopy there, up to the top, and then back on into the shed. So it's about 40 plus feet long. Okay, so we'll kick it over to the police band and we'll work our way up. That is our local station that you heard over here at 1600. That's 1.6 megahertz. not going to be too much, if anything, on this band right now. Like I say, about 6 or 7 o'clock at night, it picks up here at the upper part of the band, above 4 megahertz. WWV. Okay, that's it for that. We'll go over to the upper, or shortwave, and work our way back. It's a little tough to bring in the shortwave during the day, but it can be done as long as the sun isn't too hot and heavy. Like I say, it's up there pretty high now, so we might get a lot of interference. You'll get pretty good reception early mornings, like you know, about dawn to about 9 o'clock or something like that. It'll be pretty chatty up here at the upper part of the shortwave band. Mornings, pretty active, back to about 31 meters. Inactive below that to about 6 megahertz. But at night, the lower part picks up and the upper part falls off.
Instituto Nacional de Derechos Humanos de Chile presentó el mapa de conflictos socioambientales.
It drifts in sometimes pretty good, and other times it'll drift out. Just WWV again. Sounds like amateur.
The paradox. Why have you saw the NFL go down 40%, some polls 45% or more, in 3 years? Would you then associate yourself with what
Alex Jones?
the bottom of the NFL boat?
They didn't get him off of here, that's for sure.
Franchise?
Now, right here, 25 meters, right around 12 megahertz, somewhere up or down from there. I picked up Cuba. And it'll probably be active later on this evening. I'm not sure, but it might be FM bleed. one thing you got to remember with these is that any external or loop antenna like this one's got here, your reception may increase or decrease depending on the angle or the orientation of the radio. And if it's on the long wire and you're in a bad neighborhood with bad electrical devices, you're liable to get a lot of that buzz and crap on your power line. So that's one good thing about, you know, having it on an earth ground, not a neutral ground, but an earth ground. Okay, that's
An additional 5% site-wide at blinds.com. Promo
That's
code
pretty much
Peter.
it.
Rules and restrictions apply.
I'll try to get a quick scan this evening to show you the reception on it in the evening time. Like I say, we're in a valley here, Verde Valley, and we're surrounded by mountains. So
it's not possible to respond to all of them.
try to catch another
one of their music critics,
scan of the bands later.
Following, because he's writing about how great it is
See you
to have
then.
more female composers for the Philadelphia Orchestra.
Okay, we're back. It's about 5:15 in the evening. We're going to go ahead and do an evening scan of the broadcast in the two shortwave bands. Give you an idea of how it performs in the evenings. We should get a little different result than we did this morning. So let's kick this thing into the broadcast, and we'll go ahead and we'll start to scan the broadcast band.
For 6 games last year, and they went 9-7. That is down year. Get out of that nonsense.
Now, I think we've got some kind of electrical weather moving in. I'm not sure exactly where it's at, but it doesn't need to be in the valley here before this radio picks up the strikes of lightning. So we'll probably get some of that interference as we scan.
You will get a bigger diamond and a prettier ring.
Now, a lot of these stations will be quite far, so they'll be a little weak when they come in, but they do come in. I think that's in the Four Cities area. I think Quad City area, Prescott Valley, Dewey, Humboldt. That's the one in Sedona. That's Flagstaff area, 80 miles away, thereabouts. I don't know about that one. By the way, this radio is on a long wire. I've got it attached same way I did this morning.
The deepest and deepest in the world. In Psalms 119, verse 157.
Generics.com or call us at 800-457.
Years I've been sleeping on my Casper mattress. I pick it over every...
The great one, Mark Levin. That one there was out of Prescott Valley. I don't know where that one's at. Or that one. They're going to be pretty close together in this part of the band.
This memory spell check feature, and it didn't recognize the word CNET bar.
It flipped it and turned it into cinema.
This is partly a marketing ploy. I do realize that. It's partly because Barnes & Noble wants to talk about how many books they're selling and what they have and make you think about what book you really need. Because you probably don't have a self-help book on anxiety in your library, or maybe you do. And maybe we think we need that. But they say, right, that books related to anxiety are up.
The story's so ironic. At the time they pulled it off, it was being played on virtually all of the Christian television networks. So, you know, it was too violent for the mainstream, too okay for the Christian audience. Anyway, that turned into a press bonanza because the Wall Street Journal started it, and then it...
Very subtle.
Zero 0970 or visit us. In other words, what happens when you die? Will your spouse survive on only one Social Security check and be able to figure out?
This is our local station, of course. Okay, so that'll take care of the broadcast band. We'll kick it on up to the police band. So you can see we didn't get anything here this morning, and we're picking up something now in the distance. It'll drift and drift back. If you get anything, it'll be up here in the upper part of this band. Down here too, at the lower part of the band, which is what's referred to as the old police band, between 1.6 megahertz and 1.720 megahertz.
Po 20 rokoch skúseností vo svete sa Ivana Rusová vrátila domov. Vo svete získala pracovné skúsenosti.
It's just now picking up. It'll probably get a little better as the time progresses into the evening. Like I say, when the sun is low in the sky, you'll get pretty good result. There's our local station again.
He has been absent from the midterm campaign trail. That is, until now.
Okay. We'll go on up to the shortwave. That there is just about at the 5 megahertz on this band.
Not anybody in your life that you could say, this person has made me
The stations in this part of the band is going to be pretty tight together again. Like I say, you practically breathe on the dial and you'll get another station. They're that close together.
Artificial lawns, but this is it keeps in the
There's my dog station.
You've been really in the tough place, weren't you? We're not big in the mall.
And this guy, he's all over the dial on the shortwave. Sounds like amateur.
Ahora, un grupo político evidencia esa manifestación de clientelismo político que ha sido una política
Not sure. There's not too many music stations in the shortwave area, but they do come in once in a great while. It's mostly talk and Bible preaching stations. Yeah, we're going to start getting in an area where it thins out a little bit. Like I say, this part of the dial on the shortwave is active pretty much in the mornings. I guess this is more like, well, Western Europe, I guess.
A ponto de encontro é Rubi, Minas Gerais. Minha amiga querida Vieira, ela e o marido dela na fazenda Fonte.
En lugares como Virginia, donde el candidato republicano al Senado.
Let that happen. Bennett, thank you for being here. I do hope that the bishops impact.
Se ha fotografiado con Jason Kessler, el hombre que organizó una manifestación de supremacía blanca en Charlottesville.
Cuba comes in around 12 megahertz.
El 20 de junio, Stewart ganó
la 25 meter band
para el Senado. En el 2016, Trump apeló a New York. El magnate unió a su causa.
Doggone skeeters are thick tonight. I think that's about it for this band. Okay. So there you go.
Call 800-283-2330 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify.
A 1941 Zenith model 7S633, newly refurbished, will be available soon. This will be the second 7S633 that I am posting. Thanks for watching.
And the unaffected passengers are being released. Yesterday, at least 19 people